Hey guys, it's Katie, and it's time for another Naked Layout Share where I take a pre-made layout that I made months or years ago and finally add photos and journaling. Here are the quote-unquote naked layouts that I've chosen to add photos to for February. I love these. In fact, I'm really surprised. I don't know what that is. I'm really surprised I don't have photos on them yet. But so here is a look at them, and I even have some pocket scrapbooking here. This was before we actually did PML cards, and so I made my own. And I've also pulled Thanksgiving photos from my persnickety box. I'll leave all the information down below. It's really handy just to print 30 photos a month. And so I had these from this last Thanksgiving, and I really want to hurry up and scrapbook these because our oldest son and his girlfriend were in from Virginia, and then we had our college athlete and he was home. So I had everybody home, and so I really wanted to go ahead and utilize these photos. Now, one thing, it's going to kind of be tricky, is that you can tell right off the bat these photo wells are not square. So they are slightly smaller than 4x6. There's a square one right there. So I'm going to have to kind of get creative with how to get that done. But I'm super excited to hurry up and get these on some layouts. So let's get started. Okay, so I've decided to start with this 2-page layout. I love it because it says blessings. And I am going to do probably these photos. So of course, here's the group photo. We just set my camera up. The lighting's not perfect, but we just set my camera up for it to take, I guess, a timed photo. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to put that in there. And another thing I love about this is that we are at my Ninny and Uncle Wayne's house. And they have 2 sons, so my cousin right there, and then they have an older son who lives in Alaska with his children. And it's just, I love it because they're there. They're behind us in this photo. And then of course that sign that says "This is us." So when I make pre-made layouts, I've showed you guys this before, but I always, if there's a part where I'm going to tuck a photo behind, I don't glue it down all the way. And that's going to allow me to tuck this photo in, and then I can glue this down. So I have some adhesive down on that, and I am just going to insert this photo right there. And then I think I'm going to use liquid adhesive to get that tacked down around the photo. So I can just put a bead just around the photo, and I know that this little frame is going to hide it. And I don't know if you could tell, but when I originally made this layout, I have it just glued down right there in that big spot. So I'm just going to hold this down right quick. This glue is quick drying, which I love. So that's dry. And then the photo that's going to go right here is this one of my husband and our boys. And I believe that that is 3.5, but let me make sure. Yes, 3.5. So I want to trim down my photo because you guys know I love a little border around it. I want to trim it down to 3.25. So that kind of trims off all the stuff around them that kind of distracted. So let's get that glued down. And then I did bring out a stamp set. I think I'm going to do some stamping here in just a little bit. but I want to get my photos down where I want them. So same thing with these photos. They're going to go in the 4x6s, but I want to trim them down to 3 3/4. And then that's going to leave me some space to either do journaling, or like I said, I've pulled out a stamp set that I'm going to utilize on these little blank spots. So I can get that one glued down. And then get this one glued down. And like, how perfect are these colors for my family's attire? Now granted, you know, this is fall paper. This was at Thanksgiving. But I love that my husband's sweater, even our son's cowboy jersey, kind of plays in with the blue a little bit. So I am going to use this months of the year, November. And then there are a couple of Novembers. This one's the scripted one. And since this title spans the 2 pages, it says Blessings. I'm going to call it November Blessings. And then let's just leave that ink pad out just for a second. So I'm going to swap out layouts, and I'm going to go to the right. And right over here, another one of the images from the months of the year, November, is family. So right over here, over our family portrait. It's not really a portrait. Our family photo. I'm going to put the word family. And then there are some leaves. I don't know if I want to stamp. You know, this is meant to just be kind of fun and fast. So I don't know if I want to stamp the leaves or bring in some embellishments. So let me see if I can quickly find some right quick. Okay, so I've pulled from my stash. I think some of it will work. Grateful, Thanksgiving, cherished, family, and then some other things. And then, of course, I have this. And I pulled these because I am liking this stuff, which pretty sure this is actually from the same collection. So I am anxious to try these out. These are self-adhesive on the back, and some are cork and some are wood. So we're going to get those added. So this should be fun. I'm probably going to speed the embellishment process up a little bit. So with these embellishment clusters, I am going to try to work around this little square photo. There's just a bunch of empty space, especially to the left side of that fall. So I've pulled out the word blessed from the months of the year November, and I've stamped it on that little pennant. And then I'm going to work with some leaves. And then I decided that this looks like an actual tree. So I decided to just glue that down next to those trees. I think it anchors those really well on that right side. And then I'm going to try to find a space for this blessed, again, trying to cover up all that blank space to the left of the word fall. I'm going to take some letters, and one of the things in this group photo that I want to hide is their ceiling fan. So I've used a cluster of the cork and the wood shapes along with some of the stickers. And then that little blessed is actually going to go right over there with those pennants. I think it looks perfect with those, since those are pennants over there. And then I am going to pull out that left layout. Now there are a couple of stickers that say Thanksgiving and cherished. So I'm going to get those glued down. And then I am going to take another sticker and put kind of down at the bottom left. And then I'm going to pull out my Versamat and my brown Le Pen and add some journaling lines. Now, because the original layout had some sequins, I'm just adding some more sequins here. Again, the purpose of when you're adding photos to a layout that's already completed, the purpose of these extra embellishments is to make it look like everything was intended or made together at the same time. And that's why it's good to incorporate some of the original elements. So in this little, it's meant to be a photo. It's kind of a corner rounded PML card, so to speak. That's where I'm going to put the date, and I really wanted an oversized date. I don't need another title, so I've pulled out our wooden alphabet and numbers, and I'm just going to color them with, they are a natural wood color, but I wanted them a little bit darker, so I'm just adding some toffee ink to those, and I'm using my all-purpose mat to make sure that that ink doesn't get on my surface. And then I'll be able to glue those to that little anchor spot using some liquid glue. And so I'm just going to glue this down November, and of course not the entire word November. And then I didn't want to use a stamp. I could have used the stamp, but because I already had November Blessings up at the top in my title, I really just wanted to use the abbreviation. So I've got the month and the day, and then for the year, the stamp of the month for February. If you did not grab that, that's actually only available February 28th, and then it's gone. But it has little bitty numbers. So I'm going to add 2021. And then it also has a few sentiments that are perfect for scrapbooking. And there is one that says tradition. Now, it is a tradition for Thanksgiving to go over to my Ninny's house. So I thought that that was perfect. And then I am going to work on this other 2-page layout. So this photo that I'm doing right here is of me and my brother. And my brother just acts silly all the time, 24/7. So of course I had to just kind of add a title up there, and I'm using my bold marker alphabet. The word silly, I also stamped it silly, so it's not straight. Again, perfect for that. So while I'm finishing this up, I would like to remind you, by hitting the like button, you're letting YouTube know that you liked what you saw, which helps me out and helps you out in the future. And while you're at it, hit that subscribe button, because this Naked Layout Challenge is a monthly challenge that I will be doing every month for the entire year of 2022. So to finish off these pages, I trimmed down the photos, and then in these little extra spots, I'm only going to have just one journaling spot on this layout. So in these little extra places that were left over, because I only used a 4x4 photo, I went ahead and used my brown Le Pen to just make a doodle mark around there, and that way it makes it seem like those empty spots are supposed to be there. And then I was going to add some journaling right there, but I really just like that just the way it is. So we've got that, and then again I'll bring in that other layout. Here is the left page, and then here is that right page. So there that is. Again, two naked layouts, two 2-page naked layouts that now have photos, and I am about to add my journaling, which at times is a little personal, so you guys know that I don't like to show that online. But other than that, we are done, and February naked layouts are completed. So make sure you subscribe and sign up for notifications so you'll be alerted next month when I do this same thing again. Thanks so much for stopping by and watching.